Oh my gosh.
Fundamentals.
We would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now. We would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just going to go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to be.
More. I mean,
has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
First time on air. Anything to say to Lawan here to get him back?
Look, bro, there are stories I could tell people about Lawan, but we'll keep those right here. I'm gonna let him live.
So smart, and my team is so dumb. My coach he looks dumb. He's a big baby. This man
doesn't grab it.
Funderburk taking it back. That's an App touchdown.
he takes the shotgun snap, looking over the middle, has plenty of time, throws it in.
It's Funderburk again. 45.
Episode 198. Devontae Keith in the house, and the one, the only, Tyree Funderburk, baby. The newest Buccaneer is here, baby.
Let's do it.
Go. I'm pumped for you. We were chopping up before the show. App State guy. We'll let Richmond claim you a little bit, but App State guy made the NFL. You get the call, man. We're excited for you, and we're pumped to chop it up with you here.
No doubt, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
Hey, of course, brother. Let's start with the early on. You growing up, you're a North Carolina cat.
Yep.
You're like one hell of a track athlete. State champ, multiple state placer.
Yep.
Like, how was it growing up where you grew up? Obviously, freakishly athletic, freakishly fast, 4.3 speed. Just how was it in your athletic career growing up?
Oh, it's pretty cool. I was always like the smaller kid, man. Undersized up until about high school. I started to hit a little bit of a growth spurt. But yeah, like all the speed, all the athleticism didn't come around until sophomore year. And then that's when I started doing the triple jump, the long jump, then running the 100-meter, obviously running like a 10.8, in the 100 there, my senior year. Yeah, man, it was pretty much just started all back in high school. Nothing too crazy, but
yeah.
What was your favorite event?
Triple jump, long jump.
Triple jump. Now, how do you guys like train for that? So me being weird about legs and injuries and stuff, like how exactly do you train to like keep stuff intact and like keep a rhythm for the triple jump?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about placement, like falling, under the hip of your body. It took a lot of practice. It's definitely weird because I've seen some people get pretty messed up doing it. Knees buckle, ankles twist. It's pretty nasty, but I mean, fortunately, we had decent coaching at my high school, so yeah, I thought the coaching, I could attest to that. It was pretty good. So
that's awesome, man, dude. So obviously, one heck of an athlete on track, football field. Any other sports you played growing up?
Mainly just football, track. I did wrestle for like 3 years.
My man. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go, baby.
When I was like 130, I think it was 135 weight class. I was small, so
I love it.
Yeah, it was fun though. I wasn't the best, but it definitely it carried directly over into football.
Thank you.
Plus, a lot of the guys who didn't play basketball in the winter, they wrestled. So I was like, well, shoot.
Was there a moment where you figured out like I'm gonna chill out on wrestling? Like, was there somebody that you went up against where you like, you know what, let me pull back a little bit, or were you just like a competitor regardless?
I mean, I was a competitor, but there was a point. I was quick and all that stuff, but we had some country boys that wrestled with and against. And so, yeah, all it took was for one of them to get my back turned and, pick me up and drop me there. So I was like, yep, this is it for me.
This is it. This is done. Oh, man, I love it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hey, you heard it here. NFL cat saying go wrestle if you're not playing ball in the wintertime. That's what I'm saying. I'm a head coach myself, so in wrestling, so I love to hear that. Yeah. Walk us through your recruitment journey. Obviously, I touched on it. You went to Richmond, but I'm sure you had some track offers too. So how was that weighing all that?
Yeah, it was tough at first, and then obviously we factor in money. I had the East Carolinas, the Campbells, UNCWs for track. Obviously, UNCW didn't have football, and at the time, those schools were like, "Hey, we'll give you a partial, for track and field." Weirdly, man, especially when it comes to football, I didn't have many offers for football. I had 3D2s. I had, Lenore Ryan and Wingate University in North Greenville, and I was committed to a Patriot League school up in PA. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to go that far from home. And then my coach, I think it was like 3 weeks before signing day in February, because my senior year was the first year that you could sign in December.
Okay.
So obviously I was a late guy. He sent the film to Richmond, and they jumped on it and came down, saw me that Monday, did a home visit the same Monday night, offered me, and then I committed the following Sunday, man. Yeah, I didn't have much of a journey, talk to teams, but I didn't have many offers. I didn't have a crazy experience with getting all these phone calls and that type of thing. So
was it hard to like make that switch from both football and track to just focusing mostly on football?
I don't think it was. It was something I knew I was going to miss track, man. I was hoping Richmond had men's track. They didn't due to, Title IX rules and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew it was also pretty hard to balance track and football because, track's in the spring. We got spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of your body. I didn't want to miss reps football-wise, but I knew football was where my heart was, and that was going to give me the best chance to obviously be where I'm at now. So
it's cool.
Yeah. So you touched on what I was going to talk about. Like in 2018, it's the first time, or 2017, you can sign in December. So you're the first wave of that.
Mm.
Then you have COVID.
Yep.
Then you have NIL, and you have guys who have been in college for as long as you have, like a while now. How is that process? Because you were you're the head of the wave for these major changes in college athletics.
It's crazy. Obviously, having gone through it myself and having friends, bigger schools. Starting with COVID, that coming from the FCS level, it was wild. Just obviously happened in the spring of 2020. Spring ball. I think we were on practice 5. We went home for spring break, didn't come back. And that was kind of wild because all summer we were just training, doing all this stuff, and at a point we kind of figured the season would be canceled, especially once we saw the limitations to the Power 5 schools and even the NFL. It's like, okay, you aren't going to have many fans in the stadium, or none. So I'm like, okay, season's over with. And then we played our season in the spring, and that was weird, man. Like, just having spring practices, but we did all this training throughout the spring. Go home, summer training. We have all these workouts we're doing that were getting sent to us. Obviously, fall ball. It was pretty much camp for like 2 months.
Yeah.
We obviously did it for like 3 days a week. So it wasn't anything crazy taxing on us. But played in the spring, man, it was weird. That was actually my first time starting. So I think that was my junior year. That was really my first time playing ball.
Wow.
Other than being a sub-package guy at Richmond.
Yeah.
Just kind of took off from there and then played 6 games. Sorry, we actually had 4. 2 of them got canceled due to COVID outbreaks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously the next year NIL kind of comes into play. And that's a different space to navigate. So
I was going to ask you how you navigated that, because we always compare it to the Wild Wild West. There's no real restrictions. It's like, and we've been a huge fan since we were in college and even before. Like, pay these guys, man. They're putting their body, their likeness on the line. They deserve to get some compensation. The university making millions, if not billions, off you.
Right.
And like, we were like, hey, this is the Wild West. Go get your bag now, because there's no one knows what to do with this thing. So how was it, as you being like generation 1? Like, how was it?
Yeah, from my experience, I didn't have much with it. So I wasn't getting several thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, obviously. Like some of the guys I know were. That's cool. But it was cool to see how it was supposed to be done. Just signing some cards, going out, meet and greets, signing jerseys.
Yeah.
Posting your own camp. That's what I thought it was really going to be.
Right.
And obviously, before NIL became a thing, people were getting paid to come to school and all that. And I believe that's deserving of players. But from my experience, obviously, I didn't have a ton with it. But I think it was cool, though. I think it's a good part of college football. Does it take away from the love of the game? I believe so sometimes. But I believe paying players is important, man.
Absolutely.
Training involved? Like, did they give you any sort of information, a PowerPoint or something? Or?
Yeah. At Richmond and obviously at App State, they did a really good job of how to market yourself. And that's the main thing. It's not going to a school like App State or even at the FCS level. You're not just going to have donors and different organizations just dumping out thousands of dollars to you. They're just not, and they can't do that. But yeah, they just kind of taught us ways to market ourselves, man, and be okay with accepting, okay, I get 50% off of food at this place. I get free food here.
Yeah.
That's cool with me. Like I take free food any day if it's good.
Any day of the week.
Yeah, man. But that was it though. They just showed us kind of the ways to navigate that space, especially because it's still fairly new.
Yeah.
I think that's huge, man, because we see it in pro athletes. Like you've got to build your brand. And if you can start in college and building that brand and how to market yourself, you just set yourself up for not 2 years down the road, but 10 years down the road. And if you continue to do it 20 and like, that's amazing that they're walking you through those steps on how to market yourself.
No doubt.
Now I got to know what any NIL deals that you had. Any like, hey, slide by Thursday nights, we'll get you hooked up with a pizza or anything like that.
Nothing too crazy. I had one with Comeback Shack and Boone.
Oh, yes.
That was good. Pretty much like it was a free meal a week. That was awesome.
Oh, dude. All right, I gotta know what your Comeback Shack order. Me and my wife, we drool about it probably once a month. Like we could go back to Boone for an afternoon, just drive up.
I just get a regular cheeseburger with bacon, lettuce, tomato.
Go Texas toast with it.
Yep, that's something new I did.
Oh yeah,
and then just get some fries and a drink.
Man,
nothing crazy, man.
I'm gonna take you up there. We're gonna get some Comeback.
Y'all gonna have to explain. All I know is Shane's Rib Shack. I've seen a Comeback Shack. I've seen it in Charleston. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Charleston.
So
there's only like 4 of them, but Comeback Shack is good, man. That's definitely the best burger in Boone.
It is.
I had one with like a smoothie place in
there
Boone. You go. Did some massages at a resort in Blowing Rock, Chatola.
Whoa,
so, can't beat that. All right,
that was the one that on Mondays. Those are
that's perfect.
Those are good. I did some card signings.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest revenue generating one.
Oh, and rightfully so. And a little spending money. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But that was awesome. It. I didn't do much. I did not do much, man. So.
Hey,
I know they don't like pay you. Do they? Do you still keep the perks? Like now, like you're done with app. Do do they still hook you up from time to time, or is it even more now that you're not with app anymore?
I don't know because I really haven't been back up there since Pro Day.
Man.
I know most of it was set to end like this spring.
Yeah.
But I did make a lot of connections when I was up there.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, especially with Greystone. And for this podcast, if anybody is traveling to Boone, stay at the Greystone Lodge off of 105. Yeah, that's where my family stayed for games. That's where I stay when I go back up there. It's a good place, a really good place. With Ben McKeithen and Serena, they're good people, man. But
we got any code we can hook you up with, like you get 10% or something? We shout out, baby. We want you to get paid.
I don't have a code yet. I can work on that.
We'll work on that and we'll plug
just tell him Tyree sent you.
Yeah. Right. Tell him that. Tell him Tyree sent you.
Big
and ask him again. We'll be good.
All right. Yeah, dude, I love that. Yeah, I'm here for it. And we were talking before we hopped on. You go through this draft process, and you have one hell of a career at App. And I gotta know. Let's rewind. How did you end up at App? So you spend your 4 years at Richmond, and you decide, you know what? I still got some ball in me. I got this COVID year. I got this redshirt year. What am I going to do? How did you pick App?
Had a lot of trust in some former coaches. So again, piggyback to high school. Richmond took a chance on me. So Coach West, he was my corners coach last year at App State. He was a coach at Richmond and recruited me there.
Wow.
So he was there at Richmond for about 2.5 years. Came to App State. And I'm like, dang, man, I'm from North Carolina. App State's a dang good football school. And once I hit the portal after last season, I was like, you know what, this is probably the place I want to go to. But in the midst of that, I received offers from some Power 5 schools. And speaking of NIL, that's where I was like, okay, this is where I can go check his bag.
Yeah.
But it was more of a thing of, do I sacrifice now for money later, or do I get the money now and not be sure if I'm going to have this chance to play at the league, I had a lot of trust in Coach West, man. John Strofe, he was a DFO last year. And then Paul Padalino, he also played with me weirdly at Richmond, but he's a coach at App State now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 guys in the room on the staff that I trusted a lot. And then obviously several players that I've trained with who had played in the NFL, the Kendall Lambs, the Akeem Davis Gaithers, the Doug Middletons. Training with those guys and talking to them, they helped me out, with coming to App. And obviously it's a big DBU, I'd say, from the Sun Belt.
Yeah, dude. You're absolutely right. I love that, man. Having trust in those coaches and just remembering where you kind of came from, those coaches like, hey, yo, I got a guy down in Richmond that can ball out. Sean, let's take a chance on him, Coach Clark. And he does. I absolutely love that. What was the difference between Richmond and App? Because App is obviously a historical program and we're up a level, but Richmond's no slouch. They are always in the playoffs. They're always got a chance for national championship. They're a damn good program themselves.
Right. Yeah. Biggest difference, I'll say, football wise. Up front, the guys are huge.
Yeah.
At the FCS level, guys are bigger, but they're just not as fast, man.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing O linemen move the way they move at this level, it's a little different. Obviously, quarterbacks will just throw it.
Yeah.
They don't care if you're open. If they're open or guarded very well, like they're going to put it in a good spot. And then the receivers, man, they're pretty violent at the catch point. Like, they got good hands. The Caden Robinsons, the Christian Horns, the Stroman, they got crazy hands, man. So they're good players. But yeah, then obviously from a fan base perspective, it's hard to get a huge fan base at the FCS level.
Yeah.
You are a powerhouse, but just the stadium, the community, like Boone really obviously backs football. In Richmond, it wasn't quite like that, but it was a good atmosphere too. We enjoyed it just as much ourselves as teammates, but App State is like another, bro.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, my family loved it. I loved it. I wish I could do it for another year, but it's all good.
Just rewind it back. No, I think it's perfect timing, man.
Yeah.
We were talking. You had a great pro day. You had an amazing year at App. What, four interceptions?
4 picks.
Oh,
yeah. 2 touchdowns.
Two back to the crib. Balled out. Obviously, crap ton of tackles. You had one heck of a pro day. You hit that 4.3 speed, man. Life was good going to this draft. How was that process for you?
It was good. I knew after the season I had to prove some things, especially the speed portion of it. And I knew, especially for DBs, if you can show that you got speed and look pretty good in the movements at pro day, that helps you out so much. Because I didn't know they recorded everything, and obviously the teams could see it. But yeah, I went down to Fort Lauderdale back in January, trained at XPE Sports. Actually trained with AP. We trained together for about 2.5 months. Came back.
AP can still go a little bit.
Yeah, he can go. Yeah,
Crazy. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, so it was good to have him there with me, just to encourage each other. You can't have the best day every day, and so we're just constantly uplifting each other throughout that process. But yeah, down there in Fort Lauderdale, and came back, and I knew what I had to do. I knew what some people thought I would run, and my trainer, Tony and Matt down there in Fort Lauderdale, they were like, "You're gonna run a 4.3. How fast it's gonna be?
That's real.
Yeah, they're like, you're gonna run a 4.3. Don't stress it. Just focus on the techniques we taught you. Focus on your training. Don't try to run a 4.3. Just run." Yeah, man. Nailed the pro day part of that, and then obviously the field work was, in my opinion, I thought it was flawless. I didn't drop any passes, which was a huge goal of mine. So it flew by though. It was 2 months of work for 2 hours of performance. So, crazy.
What were you feeling, I guess, as far as mentally or emotionally during that pro day period, knowing this is it?
That's a good question. That's how I thought of it. I'm like, this is it. I have to put my best foot forward. Because at that point, there's no more putting game film on video. It's about, what can I put down on this paper that looks good to these scouts, these teams, to these coaches. They're like, hey, he's got speed. He's probably even faster than what he shows on film. And that was a huge thing for me. But yeah, the emotions, I was just like, I got to get it done today. This is it. Got one shot to, take this thing at the NFL.
I do have to ask, I know Florida, they hatch athletes like it's nobody's business. What is it like training in Fort Lauderdale, doing all the conditioning and stuff? What is that like? Especially you said you trained with AP.
Yeah.
I got to see, we always see the clips and stuff of people working out in Florida and they make it look cool. How is it really?
I mean, I'll say our facility, XPE, it's not the nicest place ever. They're super blue collar. They're hard. They work hard. Tony has some good gadgets in there. Him and Matt, the shred mill and stuff. But other than that, like it's a big warehouse. He's got a slab of turf that's like 40 yards long.
Hey,
It's hot, no AC. He's got 2 big old fans up top. So it's
that's
good work.
good work right there.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the grindhouse, baby.
It's a grindhouse. But I will say, I think it's the weather, man. Like it's consistently warm. I mean, I don't think you get many days in the 60s down there. And I'll say when I was down there, it was probably 70 above, 70 plus each day. And so just having that warm weather to get your legs and muscles fired up, moving fast.
Yeah.
I think that's why all those guys that were from Florida that trained there, they were 4.2s, 4.3 lows, running crazy times.
Yeah.
I think it's something to do with the weather, man. But
Florida's a different breed. Yeah, it's a different place down there.
That humidity, man. It just, I don't know.
Maybe you're on something, Reek. Maybe the muscles are warmed up a little better.
That's got to be
something like that.
It's got to be it.
Hey, well, you're headed back that way. You get the call from Tampa, and we talked a little bit before we got on air. You get all these interviews and these teams bring you in through this draft process, not necessarily on draft day, but throughout those 2, 3, 4 months, they're interviewing you. They're saying, "Hey, let's hook you up. Let's get you in the building. Let's talk to coach." And you get all these like fillers. And like you said, it's almost like recruiting back in high school. You kind of get recruited to the NFL of these teams.
Yep.
And, a team, in your case, might never hear – you might have never talked to them through this process, but they give you a call either to draft you or sign you as unrestricted free agent or what's the undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
How was that, like, whole just interviews with the teams? You kind of like, yo, I'm going here. Curveball, I'm getting drafted, curveball. How was that whole process?
Yeah, it was a lot, man. It's one of those things where you try your best not to stress.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first time in every football player's life where it's unknown. You don't know what's next. You might have a 6th round grade, but you go undrafted. You might have a 1st round grade, 2nd round grade, but you go in the 5th round. You don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that requires a ton of patience, man, a ton of faith. But I mean, for me, the whole interview process, it didn't really pick up until like 2 weeks before the draft. That's when I started doing Zoom interviews with teams, getting tons of phone calls to my agent, to myself, just trying to get to know me better. Because I guess I was a late bloomer for teams, watching film and stuff like that. And they all just kind of, ramped about my pro day and how I ran a fast time and like, you got great film and all that stuff. But like you said, some interview you have, it's like, okay, I'm definitely going to go there. Based off the way that scouts are texting me or whatever they may say, it's like, okay, I feel pretty confident that they'll get me. And obviously during the draft, the day I was looking forward to was Saturday. And I was hoping I'd get, late round draft pick, 6th or 7th, because I'd received some late round draft grades. And like, I'm realistic about this whole thing. Did I know for sure I would? No. I know there's a possibility of me going undrafted. Yeah, I knew there was a huge possibility. And that's okay. I'm always going to bet on myself, in that case. But, yeah, I mean, Tampa was that team that never talked to me. I didn't hear from them one time, and they just happened to call my agent, and my agent had a connection down there, and he's had some guys go play for that staff, and, they asked about me, asked him, was I going to get drafted? He was like, probably not. And it just fit me, man, talking to that staff quickly right before the draft ended. Yeah, it was the best fit for me. So.
Yeah, man.
I like it. Love to hear.
You're going to a great franchise. Champa Bay is what we like to call them here. Tampa it's the city of champions, and Buccaneers coming off obviously the Brady year of getting the ring, but even this past year, man, they're making noise. They're successful. You're going to a good spot. We're talking about the depth chart before we hopped on. Everything just seems golden for the boy right here. I'm excited for you, Reek.
I appreciate it, man. It's been a long time coming.
Absolutely.
A lot of work coming from Richmond to App State to a lot of unknowns of like what that looks like going to the NFL. Yeah. Now I got the shot to do it. So
the true underdog, true slept on. Like, this is awesome. Your whole life, and this is what you won for. This is great. Vontae, any questions before we put him on the hot seat?
Oh no, man. How's it feel coming into the NFC South? That's my territory.
He's a Dirty Bird fan, yeah.
Dirty Bird.
Okay. I mean, only because I'm the Bucks member now. I'm a Bucks player. I mean, I think gotta win the NFC South.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Clip it.
Clip it. We're saving it. So when they win it, put it in Devontae's face.
That's it.
So that's how I feel. No, it's a great group of guys from just watching film of them, from last year. Got guys coming back and made some additions in the offseason. I mean, it's a good team, and obviously it's a really good coaching staff.
I love that.
So yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get around the guys, man.
Yeah.
Get to know them. So.
This is going to be great. Well, I know you got to go here like in 30 seconds or less.
No,
so I'm
rapid
fire. I'm going to throw them at you. You answer first thing comes to mind. All right?
All right.
All right. We'll start with softball. Favorite spot in Boone?
Ooh. Favorite spot in Boone. Oh, my goodness. This is tough.
Oh, this is supposed to be the easy one. Oh, no. I'm just kidding.
You gotta come back to that one. That's
all right, we'll circle back. They're making Tyree Funderburk. You've had the entire career that you want. Who plays you in this movie? What actor?
Oh, Denzel Washington.
My man. I love that answer. That's solid.
Yeah.
All right. You've made all your millions. You're all pro. You got your rings. What are you doing outside of football? And like you feel successful. What's your future plan?
I think I'm gonna own a medical company.
Yeah.
Like a medical distributor company. Yeah.
Dude, good money in that, and you're doing something good. I love that. Who is your NFL ceiling and your floor? So like your ceiling is like peak of your powers, you're having the best day ever. Who do you model your game after? Floor is maybe more realistic.
I'm gonna say Slay.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, ceiling. I'll bring it back. Old school, keep Talib, man.
Ooh. I like those answers. Those are solid.
Yeah.
I like those. Favorite or not favorite, but who's the team that you're looking most forward to in Tampa Bay? Just to dap up, say what's up to.
The teammate?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Man, what a solid answer. Just got paid too. Love it.
Yeah. Gotta compete against
crazy. 101 is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it is gonna be crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
Number for Tampa. What number are you going for? I don't know if you've already been assigned one or not, but
well, I wanted 22, but I'm pretty sure one of the running backs has that. So I mean, I'm open to whatever. As long as it's not 49, I'm cool,
yeah, that look a little cringe out there.
Just give me a number. I don't care.
Oh man. Devontae, any hot seat questions for him?
No, none. I'm good. I can't think of anything. He kind of shut me up with the NFC South answer. So
yeah,
I got to flip it, let it ride. I got to watch that like every day up until the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, last one. Who is your dream wideout to go one-on-one with in the league right now? Outside of Tampa, right? Mike Evans, obviously you're excited to dap him up, get a little competition in, but outside of Tampa.
Dream one. I want to go against Tyree Hill, man.
Oh, speed versus speed.
Speed. Yeah. Oh yes, sir. Man. That is. I like that one. Speed
you got dog mentality, Tyree. I like it.
Yeah.
Pink slip the names. Winner keeps the name. Who's gonna get new? I love it, man. I can't thank you enough for hopping on, brother. We wish you all the best. You're welcome back anytime to come chop it up. And dude, we wish you all the best, man.
I appreciate y'all, man. It's good to see y'all. It's good to talk to y'all tonight, man. So I'm looking forward to this whole process. We'll talk soon again for sure.
Sounds good, man. Safe travels down in Tampa and go be a dog, brother.
No doubt, man. Appreciate y'all again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, what a great interview. I just love his energy, dude. He's nice, calm. He's like a cold-blooded killer. Like,
oh yeah,
Mike
I'm excited to see it. Like this, like preseason and all the training camp clips and stuff. I'm excited to see it.
Dude, I am too. This is exciting, and him being in your division,
it's even better.
I know. Fingers crossed he makes the team. I think he will. He's 4.3 speed, special teams. Come on,
easily.
He's got to make it. I love it. Well, since we're talking NFL, let's go ahead. Let's talk our draft picks here. And we got grades. Devontae, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings here. I put your boys at a C. Okay.
That's better than what they've been putting on the internet. They put them at like a
D, an F, D minus. Yeah.
F? I'm like, bro, what the heck, man? Like, It's a
think
top tier quarterback.
Yeah, no matter what you spin zone this thing in,
Yeah.
it's rough. It's a rough look for Kirk O'Bangs, but who knows? Time will tell. I think, and everything I've been reading is after Matt Ryan, they had no true successor. And I think you touched on this last week. Of you need someone in line.
Because we can't have Marcus Mariota again. Like,
right.
I think in my Madden mind, like, you thinking about Madden and stuff, it was cool. But then I forgot, like, how badly he got banged up before he stopped playing with the Titans. And I think it was with the Raiders. He was with the Raiders last, and he only had, like, one good game. But even in that one good game, it was messed up. And so when we were watching it live, and I saw the pick, I was like, oh, dang, this is bad. This is stupid. And hey, man, you know what? I would rather not go through that embarrassment of a quarterback carousel, having a quarterback that's in the red zone that can't score ever in the red zone. So, you know what? This is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think, like, we talked about it, and we've talked about it the past couple months here, is I think Michael Penix, he's going to be a decent quarterback. Yeah, he's older. He's got some injury problems, but especially him sitting behind Kirk Cousins. So in a perfect world, you get 3 years, 4 years of Kirk Cousins, then Michael Penix seamlessly takes over and he learns from Kirk O'Bangs. Like, I feel like it's going to be, in the long term, hopefully a really, really smart pick. We look back at it and we call every other expert a jackass.
Yeah.
And then I think it works out. And then you look at the rest of Atlanta's grades. I think they made some really good picks. There were some picks, but overall, I think they had some really good picks.
I'm really surprised I think they got an undrafted. They got one. They got not Isaiah Williams. They got Casey Washington from Illinois. I didn't really know much about him because I was looking at Isaiah Williams, and then I saw on the undrafted tracker they got Jacquay, I think Jackson from, I don't know, somewhere. I think it's not Rutgers. It's somewhere out there. But I did like how they were building up the defense. What I didn't like was they didn't draft a cornerback. And I was like, what are we doing? Because, like, we could use another cornerback because we just lost one. And even if they are extending AJ Terrell, it's like that's only 2 cornerbacks. So, yeah, man, what are we doing there? But I don't know. I mean, I was cool with the picks. I like how they're beefing up the line. They got a couple of linebackers, not the ones I picked, but they got them, so it's all good.
Yeah, and I look at it, and I think maybe there's one hell of a pass rush because it's a lot of edge, interior, and linebackers that they picked up with obviously Bama's running back and Illinois wide receiver. Everybody else, and then Michael Penix, was defense, and it was in the box defense. So maybe, who knows? Maybe they got something down the pipeline for corners and safeties coming in. But really, I just like the defensive-minded picks here. I think it's going to work out hopefully well for you boys.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on the no cornerback, but you know what?
Yeah.
Like, they can always grab something from the free agency. I've been hearing talks of them possibly signing Khalil Mack because he got I think he got a cheaper deal or something. Like they let him go and then they re-signed him for cheaper, and he has some years left on his contract. And so somehow it would make sense for the Chargers to trade him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll see.
Yeah. So I'm going to run through my grades here. You tell me, did I get right, wrong? And I'll be honest. Usually I'm really strict and I'm really not glass half full. I'm all right, I'm only going to give out 3 A's, 3 F's. Everything else kind of evens out. But this year I was like, you know what? I'm going to look at it optimistic, glass half full. We're looking down the future. So every grade, it's kind of on the fringe, right? I'll say it's an A, but it could be a B. It's kind of right there. I know that's a really coward's way of saying these grades are not stacked. But all right, so my A's, I got the Commanders, Eagles, Packers, Cardinals, Rams, Dolphins, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Texans, Raiders. Now, looking out this, probably 2 of these we look back on that was a hell of a draft class. The other one's that was okay, mediocre. But I think like I said, I'm very optimistic. I was looking at what the teams need, who they got, what value those draft picks were. I love those set of teams, what they got in this draft class. Anything I messed up here?
I'm a bit unsure of the Raiders just because were they the ones that took Brock Bowers?
Yeah, man. I know they got Michael Mayers. I got his face right here. I know.
I had to think about it, but they kept their quarterbacks, which honestly, Aiden O'Connell wasn't that bad. And I feel like if people are he didn't pull a Desmond Ridder where like they threw him out there like haphazardly and he just like fumbled the bag. That man put up numbers. So like I think he deserves a second chance. So I rock with him on that. Yeah. And then he's got Gardner Minshew, coaching him up a little bit. So I think that's cool. And so giving him another target outside of the wide receivers definitely helps out because he doesn't have Josh Jacobs to be a satellite anymore.
Yeah.
Zamir White is still there, but he's not a pass catcher. So it's like, if you could throw it to these big body tight ends on short yardage, you continuously move the ball up the field. I think for me, it was just the later rounds. I don't know. Like, I know they picked up a cornerback at the later rounds, but I feel like they should have got one earlier.
Yeah. Devonshire from Pittsburgh. Yeah. Who knows if he makes the team, but the round 6 and 7 pick, Dylan Loeb, the running back from New Hampshire. He's got some really good potential to be a pass catcher. I'm putting a lot of stock in him, and who knows what it's going to do. And then Trey Taylor, the safety from Air Force. I really like the way he balls out too. And then the linebacker from Ohio State, Ickenberg, I think. Those picks right there, I was like, these are great. Yeah, right? And I love Brock Bowers. A lot of people are hating on the Brock Bowers pick, but you go double tight end set. You can flex Bowers out, keep Michael in, vice versa. Like I think it brings a new wrinkle to this playbook. And we know during this time in the NFL, having a tight end is crucial. That's why the Chiefs just re-signed Kelsey or a 2-year extension for $34 million. I mean, tight ends are super valuable
too because they know he's getting older. So like they have a room of like 4 tight ends now or something like that.
Yeah. My B's: Cowboys, Giants, Bears, Lions, Chargers, Saints, Colts, Titans, Jets, Chiefs, Bills, Bucks.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. As I said, I was very optimistic. I don't know. Maybe I was just having a really good day. Coffee was hitting that day or something. I don't know.
I think the Bears did better than a B. Just all thoughts considered, pulling Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze in the same round is crazy. Like that is crazy. And then considering what they did in the free agency, it's like things are finally falling in place for the Bears.
Yeah.
Bills wise, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, just the Bears only had 5 picks during the draft, and they wasted one on a punter in the 4th round.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, what are we doing? And then Caleb Williams, obviously, I'm not huge.
Like, who was the punter last year?
He got a lot of field time, so I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless I guess they feel like, if we have somebody. Wait, was it the Bears that drafted Torrey Taylor from Iowa, or was that somebody else?
Yeah, that was the Bears. Yeah.
All right, now that
he's a good punter.
I get it. Like Torrey Taylor, like with the Iowa putting up 6 points a game, he was out. Yeah. He was definitely out there, but he made that Iowa defense make sense all the time. So you know what? I see what you're saying, but I'm not all the way mad because people do forget about special teams.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't imagine you drafted a long snapper still, but like the punters, sometimes they're hot commodities. Yeah. Lions did well. They got everything they needed.
Yep.
Saints,
nothing flashy, but it's what they wanted.
Saints, I don't know. B- maybe? I don't know. Theirs was kind of weird. Colts was good. They got Adonai for the steal. Or was it Adonai?
Yeah, Adonai. Yeah.
They got him for a steal. But Saints was kind of weird.
Dude, it was super weird. And what really, I like them taking a chance on Spencer Rattler. I like them getting Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
But after rounds 1, 2, and their first 4 picks, I like because Bub Means from wide receiver from Pittsburgh. He's pretty damn decent. But then Jalen Ford, linebacker from Texas, not a lot of film on him. Then they get a guy from Northern Iowa, then Eastern Kentucky. Like I feel like they took the Bill Belichick route on day 3 here.
You know, when they tried that with that dude Trevor Penning, it didn't work out. Bro was just mean on film.
Yeah.
And it did not translate to the game at all. Like at all. So hopefully he tightens up because the way it's going now, it's quite ugly.
Quite ugly. C's, I got the Falcons, Seahawks, Browns, Jags, and Patriots, which I know we talked about your Falcons, but anybody else on that list you're thinking deserves a higher or worse grade there?
I'd honestly give the Patriots a little higher. But at the same time, I see why you put them at a C just because, like, they drafted like 2 or 3 wide receivers and they already had like a full wide receiver room. But it was cool to see that they were given weapons. Did they draft a running back at all?
That's a good question. Let me see.
I
made this list Monday. No running back. They did get Joe Milton the third in the 6th round, which I like.
Yeah, see, he's cool and like he can really throw, but I hope they don't try to do him like they tried to do Malik Cunningham. Joe can throw, but I don't know. I honestly, I'm imagining like a quarterback battle between them, and it might be closer than we think. We don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because like both of them has an arm, but Joe has athleticism. Like Drake is bigger, I guess, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be ugly, but I feel like they have a better chance with Drake May than they did with Mac Jones. Like when Mac Jones got drafted, I was so mad. Like Nick Saban really sold y'all, man. He did. And like I don't know. I have a feeling Drake May is going to be Mac Jones 2.0. I don't want to put the evil on him, but I don't know. I haven't seen a good UNC quarterback prospect come out in a while. Yeah.
My D's: Vikings, Broncos, Panthers, Niners. Niners just nothing good. Like I was not impressed. The Broncos reaching for Bo Nix. I didn't like that. I don't like JJ McCarthy. I feel like him and Bo Nix are going to be the worst quarterbacks in this draft class, but that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. And then Panthers just shitty organization.
It was I like how they went in the 1st round to get Xavier Leggett, even though like
I did like that.
That was pretty cool. They got somebody. I think it was like a running back or something like that. They got a couple of players, but I'm trying to see how it would all make sense. I was high on Ricky Pearsall, but I see what you mean. Like after that, I'm not sure. I will say for Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, that was I think he was at UCF, and then he transferred to Oklahoma. Now he's finishing up at Oregon. I can't wait for Dylan Gabriel to erase everything Bo Nix had at Oregon. I'm really out on Dylan Gabriel, and I don't know if they put the graphic of the quarterbacks for the Broncos, and John Lynch really has a look that he wants for a quarterback.
Yeah.
All of them look the same and play the same. I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you?
And it doesn't work.
It's clearly not working.
But yeah. Guga, any final draft thoughts from you before we move on to playoff time?
I just looked to see if the Patriots took any running backs in the undrafted, and they took Deshaun Fenwick from Oregon State, and that was it. That was it. Just an undrafted running back. So I don't know what they have planned, but
Yeah, and like if the Patriots, I think if they get Jalen Wright in the 2nd, 3rd round, don't let Miami get him. I boost him up to a B in my grades here. Jalen Wright, dude. I know people will shit on his vision, kind of like Joe Milton. Maybe it's a Tennessee coaching thing. I don't know. Maybe they just don't teach him how to read and like look at the field and defenses. But you get Jalen Wright the ball.
He comes from like where he came from Southern, so a lot of times like you just bounce around until you find a hole.
Yeah.
Like any team that we've seen on Football Friday, that's basically it. They stay on their feet, bounce around until you found a hole. Like that's North Carolina 1A to 3A football right there.
Yeah, dude. And I Mike Daniels with him, I think he's going to get him right. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk a little NBA playoffs here. We'll move it quick. Celtics up 3-1 on the Heat. They're taking care of business tonight. Life looks good for my Celtics. I'm here for it. Knicks and Philly, dude. What a game last night. I feel like Maxey, what a hero he is. Sixers are what? They're down 7 with 30 seconds to go, or 8. Maxey scores 7 of those, including a 3-pointer to win the game. It seems like the Knicks are winning this series over and over and over again. But Philadelphia, man, they're clinging on. They're finding a way to stay in the ball game. Thoughts from you about that game? Did you get a chance to watch it?
You were talking about Sixers always being able to find a way to cling. I swear it's because Tom Thibodeau is running them boys ragged, bro. They don't come off the court. So eventually, like, you have so much adrenaline and will to win, but it's like your body can only do so much. And I was just thinking last night, they have to be dousing their pregame meals in Toradol or something. Because, like, I don't ever remember. I don't know who comes in for Jalen Brunson. Maybe I'm just not watching long enough, because even Miles McBride, whenever Miles McBride is in, Jalen Brunson is still in. So I don't know who the point guard is besides Jalen. I don't even think the rest of the teammates know who it is. But that boy is a dog. Like, I guess he doesn't get tired or anything. It's like they rotate everybody else off except for Jalen Brunson, unless the team is winning.
Yeah.
Same thing for Philly. I think their defense has somewhat carried them, and Tyree Maxey mostly. But yeah,
it's been a great series. And then, like, I feel like the whole East has been a great series, because then you get the Bucks and Pacers. Pacers are I'm shocked, but they are running wild on the Bucks now. Obviously, Bucks finding a way to stay in this game even without Giannis. They're trying to stay in the series. And the Cavs Magic, that's just been a fun young showdown. We called that from day one, 3-2. Yeah. I mean, thoughts about those two series real quick.
I know I was mad yesterday because people were talking about, like, oh, Giannis might come back in this game and Dame might come back in this game. And I'm watching, and both of them are in plain clothes. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, bro, come on. Stop trying to make this dramatic, for real. As far as with the Cavs Magic, that is like the closest we'll get to like old school playoff games, for real, because you don't know what's going to happen next. It's exciting. You see people you wouldn't think otherwise showing up for the games. Like, I think for the Magic, it's been Franz Wagner, because Paolo kind of drifted off. Like, he came back last game. Like, he finally put up points and stuff. But for the past few games, he kind of dropped off, and a bunch of the other players had to pick up, like Gary Harris, who's finally getting another chance, Mo Wagner, and I think Cole Anthony had a couple shots fall too.
Yeah.
I've been liking this one. I mean, granted, the Knicks and Sixers have been pretty good too, but
yeah, it has.
It's crazy to see, like, the East being the most exciting playoffs. Is like, because usually it's the West that's the most competitive, but shoot, the way it's looking, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I was just about to say that. Let's go to the West. You got the Thunder sweep the Pelicans, and Zion does not touch the floor at all, which I don't know. I don't think he's played a single playoff game. Correct me if I'm wrong, in his career.
When he got hurt in that play-in against the Kings, that was it. And I think he knew. That's why, like, he was pissed when he got hurt too. I
think you're right. Yeah.
They should have just let the Kings win.
Dude, I'm telling you. I think the Kings make it more exciting series. You and me both called it. We said we think Kings can give the Thunder a run for their money here. But
yeah.
Nuggets, Lakers 4-1. I think the Nuggets just kind of blew that game 4, but then they take care of business game 5. But then you look at statistics. Lakers kind of dominate every category there. Just Nuggets always found a way to win.
I always, like, I'm not gonna lie, because those were the games where it was like last, and I would kind of doze off.
Yeah, me too.
Last 2 minutes, because there was one game where, like, the Lakers were killing it, and then the Nuggets came back, and that was a game that Jamal Murray hit that last second shot.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, you know what? Yeah, is that kind of seals the deal. That's going to tell the story.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Ant-Man and the Wolves take care of business for the Suns. We'll talk about the Suns here in a little bit, but I mean, Timberwolves, that lines up with them and the Nuggets. another rematch, and I'm excited for the series because if the Wolves keep playing the way they have been, the Nuggets continue to get lucky and win the way they have. This series is going to go to 7. Like, I don't know who to pick here. I love it.
Shoot, I'd love for it to go to 7. As long, hopefully, Ant-Man stays healthy. So
yeah, that's huge.
Here's to hoping to that.
And then Clippers Mavs, they're about to tip off here in a little bit. 2-2 series, and I don't know who to get here. I think I picked the Mavs, and now I'm like, damn, I'm like second guess myself. Maybe Batman and Robin don't have this thing in the bag.
I don't know. I still think they do. Because it was weird seeing how, like, whenever Kawhi played, they lost. And it's very weird. Telling because Kawhi wasn't supposed to play. Like, if he was hurt, just stay hurt. And so it was interesting to see if he did come in, like, everybody else played worse. And I don't know if that's part of, like, the script or whatever. But it was crazy to see. So we'll see what happens this time.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see how this game goes tonight. I just put a little money on it, and no way in hell this parlay works, but we're gonna try it. Now let's talk about the Suns real quick before we move on. Is it over for KD and the boys? Like, is it? Well, if I get the right graphic. Like, what's next for KD? And obviously, he signed a massive contract extension, but maybe this is the end of super teams. Maybe this is the end of Kevin Durant's legacy. I feel like his end of his run legacy has been kind of mucky. Like, thoughts from you?
The streets are saying that KD did that sort of storyline for Chet Holmgren about OKC because he's probably trying to end it all at OKC. Ooh. The NBA had that rule about having a certain number of first round picks, and OKC keeps some picks. So somehow they got to come up off of some of those picks. And what better way to do it than to somehow pair KD and Chet Holmgren together? And keep in mind, like, the Thunder do go fairly deep on the bench, at least to me.
Yeah.
They're full of young players, and, like, whoever, I forgot what the guy's name is that's the GM of the Thunder, but that man got it.
Yeah,
he's
dude,
got
he's
the lead
smart.
in his hands for real.
Yeah. So, like, if you're the Suns, what do you do here? Because it's just not working, and it should be, right? Suns in 4. That's what people have been saying for years.
It should work, but the thing is, like, there's nobody on the team that we've seen have that takeover. Like, even Book, when he had that, they went to games, I think it was game 6 with the Lakers, and we thought they were going to win a ring finally, and he had that takeover. But, like,
yeah,
I feel like that dog is not there no more. Like, I don't know what happened, if he's trying to give it off to the guys that's older than him. Bradley Beal damn sure doesn't have it. Like,
dude,
in order for him to play how, I swear, in order for him to play how he's supposed to, they got to sign John Wall. Then that means having John Wall in Arizona with, like, everything goes. So, I want to say too, wasn't PJ Walker was there when it was, like, super early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it was meant to work. Maybe it was supposed to draw tickets. But none of those guys are, like, vet minded. So, like, they don't know when to take over because they've always had other people take over for them.
So yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. Let me ask you this, kind of picking back on this segment. Like, what is KD's legacy? Because obviously him and Westbrook for OKC, it seemed like, hey, this is awesome, this is exciting, but he could never get over the hump. And then, he goes to Golden State, I believe, finally gets a ring. Steph Curry, them, like, okay, things are clicking. Then he goes to Brooklyn, and that just it was a train wreck. Like, him and Harden and Kyrie, like, that just imploded. Now he's with the Suns. Booker, maybe the Kardashian curse crept in. I don't know, but, like, how does this affect KD's legacy? Because you look on paper, he's supposed to be one of the all-time best.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those players where, like, we look back and we don't know how good he is until we see, like, TikTok clips and, like, old, like, YouTube clips. Because like, he has an MVP.
Yeah.
But like, I wonder if it's gonna come a time like he has a ring too. But I wonder if it's gonna come a time where people are like, yeah, he got a ring, but such and such and such. Like, apparently,
is it his ring or is it Steph's
right?
ring?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they'll look at the time and they'll go through and like they'll see it in the stat books, and they're like, well, who was actually scoring the most in those games?
Right.
You know, how did he fare in like how did pretty much what was the difference in his scoring and stuff between regular season and playoffs? Because now I also keep forgetting like he is older, like bro is 35 now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, UKD, like your game kind of transcends age, like your game ages with you. So I don't know. I hate it for him. Like his leg, I mean, he'll always be Slim Reaper and all that stuff, but
exactly.
I don't know. Like we have to, it might be one of those cases where we like have to show whatever generations before, like this dude was the truth when he was the truth.
Sit down, young blood. Yeah.
They were gonna be like, what happened though?
Right, yeah.
Because it's just like your boy Paul Pierce, when he was the truth, he was the truth. And then like he got moved to the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is about the New Jersey Nets or the Brooklyn Nets, but
it's where people
put curses on people until they shake it.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Let's talk a little playoff hockey, and then we'll do our pub parlay. Get out of here. We'll talk a little derby too, but it'll be real quick. So, well, boom. It seems like it's a flip flop of the NBA here. The East is all but wrapped up. It looks like.
Yes,
West wide open. You know, Rangers swept the Caps. The Caps should have been in the playoffs in the first place. The Rangers are one of the most exciting teams to play. Canes take care of business 4-1. I love it. It was a close game, and then Canes scored 2 goals in 8 seconds. I love it. It's great for the city. Panthers take care of the returning champs 4-1. Tampa Bay Lightning licking their wounds. They're going home early. The Bruins, Maple Leafs. The Bruins had the Maple Leafs on the ropes without Austin Matthews, who is the leader, the GOAT, the kid on the Leafs. He's not on the lineup because of sickness. And the Maple Leafs still find a way to beat the Bruins last night in overtime. On the West, we got Stars and Knights, who they're playing right now 2-2. Nuck if you buck. They're up 3-2 on the Predators, but the Predators are gaining momentum. Avs take care of the Jets 4-1, and then Oilers Kings, they're going to play tonight as well. 3-1. Edmonton leads that.
Wow.
This is playoff hockey, man. It's what to watch. You and me were talking about the Canes, like, hey, we're going to put a little money on this versus score, this type of stuff. This is like the best. Man, I got goosebumps. 6 to midnight. I'm excited for it. Canes take on the Rangers next round. That's going to be a bloodbath, and I'm here for it. Panthers, I think they take care of the Bruins or the Maple Leafs coming out. But we'll do our picks next week. This is exciting hockey. Thoughts from you?
I'm not going to lie. I only know about partially just from the sports book, you know, seeing I don't watch the actual match, but what I do, I'll look at the ESPN box score or the game cast or something just to see what's happening. And I figured the Canes would get it done because who was the team they played?
The Islanders.
The Islanders, yeah. We don't know much about that. We just know about the Canes. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning getting dusted by the Florida Panthers, didn't really expect that because there were a couple times where I thought they were in it and then they weren't, or like they would just start off slow and then the Panthers would find their way. You know, they would find their way into the net and they just kept finding it. As far as the Predators and the Canucks, I don't know what's that about. I guess Taylor Lewan's chugging didn't have the impact that they thought it would, but who knows? Maybe they finally catch on and get inspired late.
Yeah, dude. Who knows? Like Canucks should be they should be 4-0 this series. The Preds should not be in this thing, but they're finding a way. And Smashville, baby, hockey's back there. I don't know. Devontae, I need you to start watching little games here.
I might have to
treat yourself. It's worth it. Get the quad box going on. 2 NBA games, 2 NHL games, and
I've seen that. It's so much. I might have to do that because just for the sake of the Canes, like it's been electric over there. I've been hearing
Canes and Rangers. You're gonna have to watch that series. Hell, you and me, we might find a ticket. Go watch a little playoff hockey. It's fun. It's worth it. All right. Let's talk a little pub parlay before we do. Kentucky Derby is Saturday.
Ooh.
Big horse racing show here. We got the odds. Obviously, I don't watch a lot of horse racing. This is literally the only time, right? Kentucky Derby. So based off names here, who we picking?
Let's see. Grand Mo, the first domestic product, endlessly Track Phantom.
I love that name.
Sounds like a mixtape.
Track Phantom.
Track Phantom. Encino, just a touch. Honor Marie. Dang. I don't know. Shoot, I'll go with Sierra Leone just for Frank Ocean and
Sierra Leone.
Leone's.
I like that. The first one that jumped out to mind was Track Phantom. Like, I'm like, Track Phantom coming up. But Forever Young, I don't know. 10-1 odds. Doesn't seem that bad. I guess maybe he's got a little go to him. I'm gonna say Forever Young. I'd say I'm gonna put some money on him. Just a touch. I kind of like that name. But
Just a touch.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw a little money on these horses. I'm gonna see what happens.
I might have to put some on Sierra Leone and Catching Freedom just because the number is 4 and it's yellow. 4 is my favorite number. Yellow is my favorite color. And the odd is what, 8-1?
Yeah, 8-1.
And the jockey's name is Flavian. I rock with that, Flavian.
I do too, man. I think Jokic wishes he was a jockey. Like, I feel like jockeys wish they were like tall NBA players, but I think Jokic's like, I wish I could ride horse.
Man, bro, it's so funny seeing him in interviews. He just wants to. I don't even think it's the horses at this point. I think he just wants to go home. Like, I love the fact that he treats this job like a job. And honestly, I really think more athletes should do that. Just to bring the power, just in general, don't act like I live and die for this shit. Like, no, bro, like they need you more than you need this.
Exactly.
So maybe eventually that message will get across when NIL takes off and stuff.
I hope you're right. I think you're right. All right, pub parlay time. Let's make some money real quick. Whatever day you want, let's throw some bread at it.
All right, today's Wednesday. Shoot. I guess we'll stick with Saturday.
Saturday. All right.
Let's see what's going on then. All right.
So yeah, Saturday we go NBA, we go NHL, we go MLB, college.
Let's see.
I think I'm gonna take mine to the diamond. Something's calling to me.
Shoot, I'll go to the diamond, but I'll go college diamond.
Ooh.
College baseball.
Talk dirty.
And they got NC State versus Florida State at Florida State. Shoot, I'm a roll with the Pack on that one.
Let me tell you something, Devontae. The Pack baseball ruined my parlay the other night.
Who were they playing?
They're playing, I think, Louisville. I
bet on them to play Carolina. They helped me out. I don't know. It must be the day.
Yeah, I think it was the day. But all right, NC State baseball money line over Florida State. I trust you. We ride with it. Money line. That's Saturday, and I'm gonna go MLB here. I'm gonna do it. I've been betting against the A's all season long, but they're 15-17. They're taking on the Marlins, who are 8-24. Blackburn's on the mount. I'm gonna take the A's to win Saturday.
Okay, they have been like turning it up out of nowhere.
Yeah, maybe they're doing it for the city. They're like, hey, don't take us away.
Right.
Promote them. All right, that's gonna do it for Pub Parlay. That's gonna do it for the show. Shout out Tyree. We wish him nothing but the best. We'll catch you guys next week.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye. We got to work on the outro. We'll get it.
Oh my gosh.
Fundamentals.
We would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now. We would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just going to go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to be.
Pub more. I mean,
Has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
First time on air. Anything to say to Lawan here to get him back?
Look, bro, there are stories I could tell people about Lawan, but we'll keep those right here. I'm gonna let him live.
So smart, and my team is so dumb. My coach he looks dumb. He's a big baby. This
Dude,
man
doesn't grab it.
Funderburk taking it back. That's an App State touchdown.
he takes the shotgun snap, looking over the middle, has plenty of time, throws it in.